brew tubers, and welcome to my top beers of 2023 video. Yes, a little roundup of the beers of the year for 2023, and we are inside the house with a Christmas tree with oranges and grapefruit and oranges on my bow tie, which was a coincidence rather than a good wardrobe idea, but never mind. So yes, we're in the house because we got in trouble when I did my live video on Christmas Eve for nudity. Yes, the fallen Madonna with the big boobies upset YouTube on a live video, which is odd because it hasn't upset YouTube in any previous videos, so explain that one to me. Anyway, yes, top beers of 2023. These aren't in any particular order, just the order I wrote them down on the back of an envelope, although I've been clever and used my phone at the same time, so I'm almost coordinated. And we've got a bit of housekeeping as well. One of the beers of the year, Winter Royal, which was one of my beers of last year and the year before, and ever since they started making it. That's a very nice beer. So yeah, Rebellion Brewery. It's based off Witherard's Brewery, also in Marlow. It's a nice malty, rich, fruit cakey, very winter delicious beer. I got a keg out of that out back. Usually get bottles, but no, it's a cracking beer. That's not on the list. That's just a general favourite, like Duchess de Bourgogne and Titanic Plum Porter. You know, they're very good beers, but they're not on the list because they are just generally top favourites of all time rather than just of 2023. Anyway, I digress. So, first up is Isle of Skye Tarascere. So yes, Isle of Skye Tarascere. That was the Whiskey Peat smoked malt beer from the Isle of Skye. What percentage was that coming in at? 4%. This is a comment I wrote on Untapped. This is very Untapped orientated as well. I'm a bit of an Untapped wanker now, as you'll see from the stats at the end of the video, but anyway. This is what I said about Tarascere. I love a peaty Scotch single malt. Yes, I do. So this beer using Ardmore peat smoked malt was right up my street. A good malt biscuity base with just a gorgeous whack of smoky peat flavour and a good bitter finish. Very strong peat flavour, which I personally love. So I rated that 4.75 out of 5. As I said, I love whiskey, and having a beer which tasted like whiskey and done very well was just excellent. So yes, Tarascere. If you don't like peated smoked whiskey, though, avoid it. So on to the next beer, which is a beer from Vocation Brewery, part of their monthly volumes range, and it was the May Beer Can Lines, which is a 7.1% West Coast IPA. So let's take a look at it. And the description. The can was a little lively, and I'm now wearing some of the beer. My taste buds must have developed, as once upon a time I wouldn't touch a West Coast with a barge pole. This is, however, exquisite. Very bold resin, piney citrus notes, good whack of bitter hops. So yes, obviously my taste buds have changed over the years. At one time, West Coast would have been too bitter for me. Nowadays, I think we get such a range of sort of sweet, fruity, soft IPAs. It's sometimes nice to have one which punches you in the stomach with big, bold, bitter hop flavours, which is what that beer did perfectly. So that's why it made it onto the list. I have had other very good West Coasts. The one I had from Polly's, can't remember the name of it at the moment, but that was nice. But I think this one was just one which I remember the most. So yeah, Vocation Tan Lines. So moving on, we'll go to one of my other top breweries of the year, which is Titanic. Obviously, their plum porter is just, I've had that loads of times this year and I've enjoyed it each and every time. One of the beers I had from their mixed box when I did that, when they had a sale on, I think after the Great British Beer Festival, was Cherry Dark. It was a canned beer. And apparently, according to Untap, it's now no longer in production, which is unusual. I know they do a cherry porter as well. I don't think they're the same beer though. This cherry dark and the cherry porter. 4.4%. What I wrote was, now that is exceptionally good. Chocolatey roasted malt flavours with a bitter cherry sweet fruitiness, beautifully balanced. Yes, so I obviously liked it. I say that the plum porter's exquisite, and that was very, very good as well. So there we go. Turn over. So the next beer is from a moderately local brewery to me, Chiltern Brewery. It is their bottle conditioned Coronation Ale at 7.4%. So Chiltern did two Coronation beers, a lower strength sessionable one, and then this collector's bottle conditioned big 7.4% one. The description I put for it was a very good traditional English IPA with a modern twist. I'll read out the actual description for the beer. We are delighted to have brewed this bottle conditioned IPA to mark His Majesty King Charles III's coronation. Brewed from premium hops from across the Commonwealth and locally grown malting barley. This strong and aromatic ale is packed with grapefruit and passion fruit notes, producing a prominent hoppy characteristic alongside sweet malt tones, celebrating this historic moment in style. Long live the King. It was actually very good. It was a traditional IPA, all those proper, malty notes. It started to rain. All those good malty notes, and then a nice bitterness, and then say a bit of an earthy hoppiness, and then this lovely modern sort of fresh, fruitier, citrusy hop flavour. So yeah, it was very good. I really enjoyed that. Now, this is now where we get on to the beers I remember the most, as it were. So these are ones I can call off the top of my head what they were, because they were so unusual and very good. So starting off, we have what do we have? We have Overnight Oats. Do we? Yes, we do. My list is all wrong. Never mind. Overnight Oats from Vault City. I purchased this at a tap room called Wishel Drinking in Rickmansworth. 8.4%. So it's a sour. It has banana, blackberry, goji berry, maple syrup, and coffee in it. Yes, it sounds a bit weird and sounds like a beer I wouldn't normally drink. This is what I wrote for it though. Tastes more like blackcurrant than blackberry. Guess that's down to the tart sourness. It basically is a breakfast smoothie with coffee. It works weirdly well. Very smooth and creamy with a pleasant tart sourness, which is balanced by sweet fruitiness. So, in my opinion, it was like having one of those berry fruit smoothies, the ones you get, blackberries and blackcurrants and stuff, whilst drinking a coffee. It was very good. It was perhaps not the top beer I had, but it was certainly a very memorable one, and I did enjoy it. It was a very unusual combination of flavours, but it worked very well. So there we go. So that was Overnight Oats. Next off is from Tiny Rebel Brewery. It is the Sleigh Puff, the chocolatey one. Triple chocolate nougat marshmallow porter coming at 5.2%. So I had this on cask at the Boot in St Albans. Now, funnily enough, one of my friends from Creative Juices, Paul, he had this in can and he said it was awful. I had this on cask and it was one of the best beers of the year. And this probably might be the best. It was certainly a very, very memorable one. So yes, I put it's incredible. Pure chocolate, hints of marshmallow, sweet but amazing. It didn't taste like a beer. It tasted like drinking chocolate milkshake. It really, really did. It even looked like it. It was just so far removed from what a beer could be. You know, as I didn't really describe that well, but you know, it was so not like a beer, but still being a beer. It was weird, but it was incredible. Really was. It was just like drinking pure chocolate. Mm. You could have served it to children, and they wouldn't have known the difference. Not that I condone that, but you know, that's how smooth, chocolatey, and not beer like it was. So that was impressive. Um, Another sour on the list, which is unusual, seeing as I don't tend to like sours. Again, this was one of the most memorable beers I had of the year, and it was a collaboration between Yonder and Vault City. I think it was to celebrate Yonder's 4th birthday. Anyway, it was the double cheesecake, yuzu berry, double cheesecake, um, strawberry, blueberry, yuzu, and vanilla imperial pastry sour coming in at 10%, which I brought from Anchor Tap and Bottle in Croxley Green. So yes, that was a weird one, but really, really good. I can understand why they call it a cheesecake. You get that creamy vanilla and a biscuity maltiness, and it's thick. Accompanying this is a fruity strawberry blueberry sour note. The sourness is really well balanced by the sweetness. Very excellent indeed. So I give that a rating of 4.5. It was just so well balanced between the sourness and sort of this creamy cheesecake flavour. It was like drinking a cheesecake. It was really was memorable and very impressive. Should be for the price I paid for it. But yes, that was a good one to remember. So yeah, that's pretty much. Oh no, we've got one more, two more. Hang about. Oh god, it's all gone wrong. Next is one I had at the St Albans Beer Festival. It is Harvey's Prince of Denmark Stout, 7.5%. I have had it before at the Battersea Beer Festival many years ago, but I had it again for the first time in God knows how long at St Albans, and it really epitomised what I think an imperial stout should be. It was a little bit weak for imperial, at only 7.5, but it had all the right flavours of an imperial. The thing I find nowadays is that imperial stouts are far too sweet and they're far too chocolatey. Yeah, they really are very, very sweet, and like, I don't enjoy them as much as the traditional flavours. You know, where you get the roasted malts, like soy sauce and licorice and all that sort of weird stuff. But that's the sort of imperial stout I like. Um, Thick with black treacle and licorice notes, lots of roasted malt flavours, good sweetness, and a hefty roasted bitterness to balance. So, you know, it's just a very good imperial stout done well. Yeah, Harvey's Prince of Denmark Stout. So the next beer on the list is the only one from abroad, I think. It is from the United States of America, from Fairfield in California, and it is Heretic Worry. So this is a Belgian Triple coming in at 10.8%, and it's been aged in Chardonnay barrels, don't you know? I purchased this through the malt miller whilst I was doing a grain order, probably. So what did I write about it? I said, goodness me, that's good. Deceptively easy drinking, obvious oaky wood notes, a vanilla creaminess, acidic grape, and a general malty sweetness that balances it all. Very good and surprising beer indeed. Slightly menthol minty freshness to it as well, oddly. So yes, it was obviously a very unusual but satisfying Belgian triple. I don't actually remember having it, but it's on the check in there, so I must have done. So yes, there we go. So that is the finish of the list. The only other thing on here is an honourable mention, two honourable mentions. First off is to Adnams Broadside, which sounds weird, yes, but it's the 6.3 original strength bottled version, which I've not had in years, and I had it again, and I thought, actually, that is a remarkably good beer. Um, why don't they do that in cask anymore? But no, yes, the bottled 6.3 Adnams Broadside is beautiful, really is. Lovely fruitcake and caramel flavours, a nice malty base, lots of fruitcake flavours and raisins, very flavoursome. And yes, they've knocked down the ABV. Oh, sunshine! They knocked down the ABV, didn't they, for the cask version? But yeah, on bottle, that original 6.3 was very nice indeed. And the only other we'll mention is Pope's Yard and Creative Juices did a collab called Ready for Love. It's a light, easy drinking, hoppy beer, and I have that quite a lot. So there we go. On to the Untapped Stats of the year. Oh dear, it's not very good, is it? Sunshine, no, you can't bloody trust the weather. It was perfect lighting conditions, then it started raining, then it was still raining, and it's raining and sunshining and pissing me off at the same time. So yes, the Untapped Stats for the year. In 2022, I checked in 521 beers. 2023, 830 check-ins. So, oh dear. Yes, 95 beer styles in 2022, 120 beer styles in 23, and I've had 257 beers from unique breweries, and it's something like 700 new beers this year as well. I think 680 or 700 new beers. So, yeah, quite an impressive statistic. One which is a bit drunken of me, but never mind. So, what was the brewery of the year then? I think it may have to be Polly's. I really have genuinely enjoyed every single beer of theirs I've had. They have a formula and they do it so well. They excel at those hazy, hoppy, fruity IPAs and pale ales. They really do. And I said I've enjoyed every single one of them. Funnily enough, I think I've enjoyed them in can more than I have on draft, which is slightly unusual, but there you go. So yeah, they were probably the best brewery of the year. I mean, there were some very close contenders as well. Vocation, I had some exceptional beers from them. Didn't have any bad beers from Rebellion or Tring this year. Both of them have produced some excellent beers. Again, they only really do some monthly specials and they have a very good core range. So, but yeah, what I've had from both of those breweries were excellent. Vocation was a very high contender. I didn't really enjoy their stouts very much because they're overly sweet for my liking, but their other beers were plenty all right. But Polly's just nailed the head on every single one of theirs I had. So, yeah, Polly's brewery of the year for me. So yes, those are my beers of the year. Yeah, they were pretty good. The most memorable ones, probably that cheesecake sour and the Sleigh Puff. They really were something very, very memorable indeed, and I did enjoy them. So there we go. Roll on to whatever next year is, 2024. Oh. So I'm empty now. So I'm going to refill that glass with more of that lovely winter royal. And yes, I wish everyone has a prosperous and happy 2024. Enjoy your New Year's irresponsibly. And yes, I'm sure there'll be some entertaining videos next year as well. Thank you very much for watching. Ta-ra.